Here's my review of In Stars and Time in just 4 minutes. Every now and then, I catch myself playing a game and think, this will mean an awful lot to an awful lot of people. Be it an expression of their identity, a way to compartmentalize and explain feelings, or just a clever enough way of reinventing what we already know, it just feels important. In Stars and Time hit me with this feeling immediately, and tens of hours later, it has never stopped. Time loop narratives are useful for exploring themes pervasive to the miasma of everyday life. Death, chaos, our determinable ability to long for what things looked like mere moments ago. In Stars and Time is a meditation on both the virtues of change but also cautious of overshooting, an acknowledgement that growth is both inevitable in life and yet, paradoxically, the hardest part of it. The story follows Sifrin, an adventurer with a band of friends who's just about to take on an evil king who's frozen most of their little region in time. When they're pitifully smushed by a trap on the very first floor, he wakes up the day before, doomed to repeat mistakes until he's free. However, he soon discovers his real mission isn't just to stop the evil king, but something much, much grander. Here is where In Stars and Time manages to release genuine horror in a game that isn't horrifying. Combining the story beats of a Groundhog Day with the meta deconstructionist themes of this year's rather excellent Slay the Princess, it's a game that is divergent to the tropes of many time loop narratives without a disdain for its influences. It is joyous and different without desperately trying to carve its own niche. It is unique purely because it is. In pursuit of this, there's charm and humour dripping off almost every frame, with all party members having their own real personalities and grievances. Though you can make up for mistakes, the look of fear, anguish and hatred in their eyes managed to make a real impact on me as I was playing. The gameplay is that of a traditional RPG, with fights consisting of moves using rock, paper, scissors. Replacing the traditional elements used in games like Pokemon and Persona, there's a very simplistic approach immediately signalling that In Stars and Time is far more caught up on the moments between battles than the big fights themselves. Every loop has your team lose all experience and skills, but Sifrin develops theirs alone. Fortunately, you can equip everyone on your team with memories of key moments. Battles won, conversations had, and near deaths. They will never remember the many loops, but they will feel them in some way. This makes you feel that, even though you aren't progressing, you kind of are. In the same way, In Stars and Time, through the guise of our main character, actively berates you at points and rewards you at others. Sifrin doesn't remember much of their own past and is left mostly quite quiet, making it easy to insert yourself into his tiny little shoes. He is characterized further as you go, and the games make conscious decisions to split him from yourself, but his pure sorrow is palpable in some of the game's most alienating moments. I spent quite a lot of time talking about the many aspects that In Stars and Time gets right, but it is noticeably flawed in others. For instance, you are often given multiple choices throughout the game that then require another loop if you get it wrong. This is a nice teaching moment, but some more esoteric puzzle solves later in the game have you running through everything again just to look for the things you missed. You also can't skip ahead by just clicking in the right space or researching the same bookshelf, so you are sometimes, in a roundabout way, punished for guessing it right. This means that if you decide to replay through the game again, you aren't rewarded for having that knowledge. Instead, you have to go through all the pain of not getting it despite the fact that you know it. There's an argument to be made that this is a meta way of making the player suffer a fraction of the boredom and frustration our main character suffers in each loop, but it doesn't make for the best few hours of gameplay. It is clever and I admire the bravery of that decision, but it doesn't mean it necessarily works, and when I was hit by a bug forcing me to lose a few hours of progress near the very end of the game, this repetition became even more frustrating. You can skip through dialogue you've already seen, and it even manages to talk directly about your wish to do so. This relieves a little bit of this tedium, but doesn't remove it entirely. You also get one special companion to guide you through some of those loops, rewarding you for discovering very minor differences. Like the writing, the story, the theming, and the music, the art itself is distinct and charming, stripped back in many ways, but subtly complex. It is all in black and white, but uses this restriction to shine in other ways. Enemy design is fun and weird, with many of them representing their type for more damage. There's a simplicity to how everything looks that allows the darker allegories for depression, ideation, and more to shine through. There's quite a lot I had to cut out of this video for fear of making it half an hour long and for spoiling some of its best moments, but I do think it's important to note that, despite playing for close to tens of hours and getting a little sick of repeating loops by the end of the game, I still left some mean dialogue unsaid. Moments that meant dropping Mirabelle in trouble or setting Bonnie up for embarrassment were untouched wherever the game would let me. This is a testament to how much I cared about them. In Stars of Time is an admirable and creative attempt at the time loop genre that, despite some flaws with pacing after the halfway point, proved to be worth my time once, twice, and 50 times over. And that's my review of In Stars and Time. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's worth playing through. Let me know your thoughts if you played it. Also, if you liked what you saw here, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. I'm looking at internal metrics for goals you have to hit for watch time and subscribers to allow like advertising and things like that. And that's one of the things that keeps me coming back to analytics. I would love to hit that number one day. So if you like this and you want to support in any way, please subscribe. Thanks.